Whew, we're ready. Ready?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hi, I'm Steve Thompson, president of Emery Thompson Machine.
I'm Christi Brown, vice president of sales and marketing.
Well, welcome. It's another cold day in Florida. It was actually 28 degrees this morning when everybody got up, and that's way too cold for Florida.
I agree. Mother Nature got lost.
Yeah, this global warming is going to be the death of us. It's so cold. Okay, I'm going to start off. Customer asks, is there a problem with ET machines that you're aware of? And the answer is yes. Your turn. Oh. All right, I'll answer it. Yes, there is a problem, and we think we know what the solution is. We know what the solution is. This is the 24-quart freezing cylinder. This is about 100 pounds of stainless steel, copper, and unbelievably handmade quality. The cylinder is 6 times thicker than any other machine. I've got on my lap to point out what the problem is. People are calling up and they're saying, my machine froze up or my machine stopped. What's the problem? And we go through a few things, but what we find is that they've put too much liquid into the machine. Because of outside forces, which I'll explain, this is a 24-quart cylinder. They're putting 24 quarts into it. There's no room for air expansion, and it's not designed to make 24 quarts and then bring it up to 30. It's made to make 24 quarts. So we put in a smaller amount into the machine. Now, I was thinking that maybe, Christi, it's our literature. We don't make it clear that these are rated by finished product. How much can you get out of this cylinder? You can get up to 24 quarts out of this cylinder per batch. Mm-hmm. But we say it, and I thought maybe it's the literature. And I looked at the literature, and the literature's good. It clearly states that this is finished capacity, meaning what you're going to get out. So you put in, say, 14 quarts of Italian ice, and you get 24 quarts of liquid ice, and then you get 24 quarts back. And same thing in the same general area with ice cream. So really what the problem is we don't have a lot of competition, but the ones that we do constantly rate these cylinders by how much the cylinder will hold. They say, we've got a 24-quart machine. Well, it's 24 quarts, and I only move this without killing myself or dropping it on my hands. Mike, can you see me while I have this down on the ground?
Yep.
They take their cylinder, other companies, and let me move back a little. They take their cylinder and they fill it with water when it's vertical. And they measure, oh, it holds 24 quarts. And they say, it's a 24-quart machine. It isn't. It's a 16-quart machine because you put maybe 14 to 16 and maybe you get, with their much lower overrun, maybe you get 20 quarts or 24 quarts. We rate it the most honest way there is by finished capacity. If you put a certain amount of liquid in, how much are you going to get it out? So it's that simple. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, it is. And, a lot of customers, too, you actually get a little bit more, I think, especially with the CB350. It can put out a little bit more than 6 quarts. I would say probably 7 if you're doing 100% overrun and you put in 4 quarts of mix. So.
But we rate it at 6.
But we rate it.
Everybody's happy.
Yeah, exactly. My question is can I use popcorn in my ice cream? You could, but it's probably going to be yuck when it comes out. It's going to get mush. It's going to be, very yucky, and the texture won't be there. And let's face it, kernels are not fun as it is, and then imagine them being frozen solid. So that's when flavorings come in handy. So you have Green Mountain flavors and you have Weber flavors. These are 2 great companies to contact to get a popcorn flavor. If you're wanting to do a buttered popcorn ice cream, actually sounds pretty interesting. I think I would do that, Green Mountain Flavors is an all-natural company, so, reach out to Stan if you want to do all-natural. His email is stan@greenmountainflavors.com. And then Mark at Weber Flavors. They have all kinds of extracts, you name it, they pretty much have it. spumoni, and then the crazy off the wall, and they are very spot on with their flavors. His email is marks@weberflavors.com. If you need their emails again, just shoot me one and I'll get you in contact with these guys.
Last Wednesday, we did another 5-6 hours of Make It Fresh with Christi, me, and Jeff Mark, outside Jeff, making different flavors of ice cream. Brett wrote in, he said, in your last live session, there was obviously a palatable moment when it came to discussing paying yourself a wage. I had to look up the word palatable. It means enjoyable. A palatable discussion. But he wanted to know where I stand on paying yourself a wage in a business that has just started up. I had to go back and do some research on that, but I noticed that at Shark Tank, they always ask the person who's been in business for 1 or 2 years, maybe 3 years, how are you doing? How's the business? And a rare occasion, someone will say, well, we sold 107,000 units and we're making X amount of dollars. Usually the answer, and they say, wow, that's great. Usually the answer is, we've been in business for 1.25 years now, and we're projecting that we'll break even in the third quarter of the second year. They hadn't broken even yet because, and the reason is, there are so many things pulling on your money with a brand new business. You thought you got everything right, and then something costs more, or you have a piece of equipment. Maybe you just need different spatulas, maybe you need different tubs, but there's things pulling on your money. I used to tell people, when you're totaling up how much is it going to cost to do the store, back then, before the inflation, I would say you need $5,000 cash in the bank to come up, to protect yourself from the casualties that you're not expecting. I'd say now it's probably about 8,000, maybe even 9, but you need a cash buffer somewhere. But the thought of paying yourself a salary in the first couple of years, I suppose you could do it, but it's your business, it's your success, everything is dependent on you. I would plow the money back into the business as best I could. Sure, you've got to live, but you don't have to take a 3-week vacation in Rome in the first year of your business. That will come later. Or maybe it won't. They'll find out that they're so busy they don't have time. But that will come later. But for now, my answer would be try to plow as much of the money back into the business as you can so you can grow it. You started off selling 12 flavors, but now you're thinking of going into pints. Well, you got to buy pint containers. Maybe you're going to need a hardening cabinet. Things are going to come up. They're going to help you grow the business. So that's my answer to this question.
Should I charge more for my product at events? If you're talking like fairs or festivals, absolutely. So there's, I did a little bit of reading on it. I'm not, super 100% pro like some of you are. But the reason why most charge more at an event than your typical ice scoop shop is because they're a one-time customer, and they expect it. It's kind of like you go to the airport, you're going to pay $4.99 for a bottle of soda when at the gas station it's, $1.99. So, do it. Definitely charge more for your product at events.
Quick tip that I learned from one of our customers. When you go to an event, if you're trying to figure out how to price your product, go see what Coke and Pepsi are charging for a small Coke or Pepsi. Your product's better than a Coke or Pepsi, so you should be able to get equal to or higher. And they probably have 500 people on the market predicting what every fair and festival that they're in around the world is going to cost. So it's just a good benchmark if you're trying to figure out your price for the day. My third and final question only came in late last night, and I'll just read it real quick. It's not really a question, but it's his name is, and I'm trying hard, Ariyaman, and he's from Calcutta, India. And Ariyaman says, I have plans to get into the sorbet business. However, this isn't really popular here, so my resources have been completely dependent on both your recipes and information from your website. Throughout this email, I requested your assistance in the recipes that you have created and guidance in setting up the business. I do note that I am a student, and although my dream is to work with an Emery Thompson product at the moment, I simply cannot afford it. You know what? We're not worried that Ariyaman can't afford an Emery Thompson at this time, that's perfectly understandable. There's nothing wrong in his situation with starting out with 2, 3, or 4 $350 Cuisinarts and get the business going. But I just wanted to point this out because we're here 7 days a week by email, and if it's a technical problem, also by phone. Our goal, Christi and me and the entire company, is to get you into business and make you successful. It's a lot of fun to see and hear about your success. So we make all these videos. We're here to answer questions. You can email us with anything. You can call us. You know, it's wide open. I've probably said this before, but other companies say, if you buy our machine, we'll teach you how to make vanilla. We'll teach you how to make everything that you need to know before you spend a dime with us. So I hope you'll use this as a good resource.
Time's up.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys next week.
Good. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye guys.